There's a moment in every gardener's journey when they realize the weeds aren't just in the soil, they're in the soul. You bend down, fingers deep in dirt, and tug. A stubborn root fights back. It clings to the old habits, the old thoughts, the old stories. You pull again. This time it gives, but not before reminding you that every deeply rooted takes effort to remove. That's work, the real work. We don't just grow plants, we grow people. And that starts with weeding. Don't just ask for lighter load, but for stronger shoulders. A Jewish proverb. Weeding is humbling. You're on your knees, your hands are dirty, sweat on your forehead. It's quiet work, unseen, thankless. Even if you're in the bobcat, pulling out wisteria from your forestry mulcher head. But it's where the transformation begins. The Grow Code teaches that every garden is a reflection of the inner world. If your bed is overrun with weeds, bitterness, distraction, procrastination, no amount of sun or water will save the harvest. This is why we weed first, before planting, before building, before scaling, and even while you're doing it. Because success can't grow where sabotage thrives. The types of weeds. Some weeds come fast, just like bad habits. Others are perennial, deep-rooted, trauma, toxic patterns, unresolved stories you inherited from your past. But here's the truth. Weeds are teachers. They reveal to you what you've neglected. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that have built against it. Rumi. So, you pull the weeds and you learn. Some weeds break off at the surface. You feel good for a moment, but come back next week and it's stronger. Why? Because you didn't go deep enough. And so it is with life. You can quit a job, leave a relationship, change locations, but if you don't extract the root belief, you'll repeat the pattern. Be the person worthy of the garden. A flourishing garden requires a certain kind of person. Disciplined, devoted, and discerning. Weeding builds that person. Every weed you pull is a vote for who you are becoming. Not someone who avoids pain, but someone who transforms through it. Not someone who seeks shortcuts, but someone who shows up every day. The pain you feel today is the strength you feel tomorrow. Unknown author. We become the gardener. We become the land steward. We become the leader, not because it's easy, because we were willing to dig in the dirt. When you do what you want to do it. When you don't want to do it. There will be days when you don't want to weed, when it's hot, when your back aches, when there's no one watching. Those are the days that count the most, because that's when you build something no one can take from you, character. Sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. A Chinese proverb. That's the Grow Code in motion. That's why we weed, that even when it hurts. Lessons from the forest. You see this in nature too. Walk through a forest that's been ignored for years. It's thick with underbrush, wisteria, kudzu. Light can't reach the ground. There's ivy everywhere. Ivy's growing up the trees. Trees compete for the resources. Disease spread. Wildlife suffers. But then someone comes in and clears it with a forestry mulcher. They clear. They mulch. They make room for what's supposed to grow. That's forestry mulching. And that's life. When you clear what no longer serves you, you give your gift space to breathe. When you clear what no longer serves you, you give your gift space to breathe. Sometimes you have to be the machine, tearing through the clutter, shredding the stories, grinding down what's dead and making it fertile ground. The weeding ritual. We teach this at Urban Sprout Farms every season. Before we plant, we weed. Before we launch, we reflect. Before we scale, we heal. It's a cycle, it's sacred, and just like within the soil, your results in life will mirror the depth of your weeding. So take a breath, grab your gloves, get in your machine, put on some podcasts, and start where you are. Not to fix yourself, but to remember who you were before the weeds grew in. From overgrown to ordered, the difference between a wild lot and a garden is intention. A forest left alone becomes tangled. A life left alone becomes chaotic. But the moment you apply vision and labor, you cultivate order from wilderness. This is the grow code in action. Clear the land, build the bed, plant the purpose, tend the roots, prune what no longer aligns, harvest who you become. Every time you mulch a plot or tear down thick brush, you're symbiotically cutting the confusion in your own life. This is why this work is sacred. You're not just mowing grass, clearing a forest. You are reordering chaos. You're turning pain into structure. You're practicing divine discipline. God gave us the raw materials, but we must be the architects of our own Eden, the grow code. The spiritual side of mulching. Here's what most people miss. Mulching isn't just about destruction, it's about transformation. The old becomes the new. The dead becomes useful. The weed becomes fuel. Even your worst days, your biggest failures can turn into fertile ground if you process them, compost them, and apply the heat of truth and time. This is what a real leader does. This is what the grower does. You do the inner work and the outer work. You clear the field and the false beliefs. You mulch the land and the shame. You come back stronger, clearer, more rooted in who you are. Final. The garden in your life will never grow what you want until you move what no longer belongs. The grow code. So what do we learn? Weeds aren't just in the ground, they're in your thoughts, your habits, your schedule, your self-talk. But good news, you can pull them, you can mulch them, you can turn every tangled mess into fuel for something beautiful. You're not just clearing land, you're creating space for purpose. You're not just removing brush, you're revealing what's been buried beneath survival. This is how we build gardens, this is how we build lives. If you're still watching, you're one of the real ones. So here's your Grow Code mission. Drop a comment with the word rooted if you're committed to clearing your inner weeds or just survived a major life clearing of your own. And if you're feeling bold, tell us what's one weed you're ready to pull this season. Let's make this comment section a garden. Subscribe for more soul-soaked land wisdom. Share this with a grower, dreamer, or doer in your life. DM us if you need land cleared or mindset reset. You grow the person, we grow the world. The Grow Code.